Hello everybody and welcome to the fifth part of What If Naruto Was Hashirama's Son. I hope you enjoy this what if. Also don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest episodes. Chapter 9, Freedom at Last. It was 2 days later and Yagura was currently in his office, his torn apart office after he released a temper tantrum of unparalleled proportions. Bijou chakra can and will be deadly in a very confined space. Not only was the desk in splinters, the bookcase and its belongings were charcoal, and the ones to report the last outpost was destroyed were an unrecognizable bloody smear which coated the office. Again, Bijou chakra can and will be deadly in a very confined space. First my plans are taken, then my spy is discovered and killed, and now to put the fucking cherry on top, my outposts were destroyed. The newest secretary to the office speaks up, Yagura-sama. What? Yagura snaps back, making the secretary put her finger into her ear to dig out the ringing. She continues in a calm manner. I have been informed that the village is under attack. It's the rebellion, sir. Yagura clenches his fists tightly to where blood drips from the palms. He picks up his staff which was lying on the floor next to him. It was the only thing left intact in the office. As he was stomping out the door, the secretary was about to make a remark, but Yagura smashed her poor skull open with his staff and proceeded to face the rebellion head-on. I'll show those rebel scum. I will show them that the power of Jinchuriki is absolute. Rebellion, Kiri Gates. Mei and Naruto were leading the rebellion while Ao and Isamu decided to watch the camp and tend to the still healing as well as the captives. Naruto did leave 20 wood clones behind to make sure those two didn't screw anything up. As the rebellion reached the gates, Naruto nodded to Mei and she nodded back. Both did a couple hand signs at the same time. For the rebellion seeing this, they were in awe at the sheer power. For the ones on the receiving end, not so much. Water release, great waterfall technique. Both Mei and Naruto shout, then spew out a massive wave of water which crashes into the gates. Screams of Yagura's followers as well as the sounds of collapsing infrastructure are heard as the wave, which was over 50 feet tall, crashes into the main entrance to the village. The wave continues taking out building after building like that of a tsunami. Eventually the wave stops and starts to recede, but not before Naruto showed the others why he was a senju. Not using any hand signs, Naruto creates water whips and immediately rushes in while using his whips to latch onto an attacker, then fling them into another. As Naruto was doing this, Mei barks out orders while fighting. Kenshin, you have squad Alpha, take the northeast quadrant of the village. Beta, you take the northwest. Gamma, take the southeast. And lastly Delta, you will take the southwest. You have your orders, go. Hi Mei-sama. As the rebellion dispersed, Mei heard a war cry to see about 100 attacks heading her way. She smirks and does one jutsu to deal with them all. Lava release, melting apparition technique. Mei spews a massive sheet of lava from her mouth in an arc which soon blankets over the incoming wave. Screams are heard for a brief moment before the lava incinerates them. Nothing is left but ashes. Naruto, who was nearby, was done with his water whips and decided to pull out some Uzumaki jutsu, but first a little challenge. Hey Mei. Mei dodges an overhead slash, then punches the guy in the trachea, making him choke to death. She continues to pummel people into the ground. What? I'm a little busy here, don't make me melt you like I did those recent idiots. Naruto grabs an attacker's leg and brings his elbow down, snapping the leg too, then chucks the person into 5 others. Using Kage speed, he uses a super strength punch to the center of the pile of bodies. It was not a pretty sight as blood spewed everywhere. How about a jutsu competition? Whoever wins gets to buy a congratulation dinner. Kunai are felt bouncing off Naruto's armor. He turns and glares at them and whispers, "Foolish," before using his katana's ocean fury technique to appear behind them, then sheath his sword again. Nobody was left alive. A competition, in the middle of a battle. After a pause due to interference, Mei relents. Sure, it will be fun, me first. The enemy seemed relentless, but Mei would soon remedy that as she uses her boil release, skilled mist technique. As she shot a mist out of her mouth, anything it came in contact with would melt from the corrosive nature of the jutsu. Screams are heard as the attackers drop to the ground and start to grab at their face, but pulling melting flesh off in the process. Naruto takes a gander as he got a reprieve for a short while, but sees others advance behind Mei. That was nasty, but I got one that I have not used in a long while. It is of my own creation. Uzumaki's secret technique, Maelstrom of Destruction. A whirlpool suddenly forms around the ones attempting a flanking maneuver. This of course makes Mei laugh uncontrollably. That's it, a defensive jutsu. Mei shuts up after Naruto yells and clasps his hands together, making the once blue whirlpool turn purple with the blood. After he releases the jutsu, only chunks and a red smear on the ground remain of the 20 Yagura followers. The attacks were getting less and less, so it meant that in the only 10 minutes they have been fighting, each quadrant was being taken care of with the utmost efficiency. As the 2 Kage level Nin got a breather, Mei asked the important question. That dinner you said the winner would buy, would you be asking me on a date perhaps? Naruto chuckles. As beautiful as you are, the answer is no, as I have one already waiting to confess her love to me. Why did you ask? Mei at first pouts, then lightly chuckles. Because you won the challenge. I was about to throw up at what you did. It reminds me of the stories of, oh, I am so sorry Naruto, I didn't mean to bring up the past. Naruto waves his hand. It is in the past now, Mei. I look to the future as it is much brighter. Yagura makes his presence known. Wise words, Senju-sama. He turns to Mei. Mei, how are you doing? Did you enjoy coming home to see me over your dead parents? Is that the reason why you started this silly rebellion? Mei clenches her fists in anger and was about to attack when Naruto squeezed her shoulder, then looked at her. Hold you anger, Mei, as it leads to rash decisions and eventually defeat. Help the rebellion forces as I fight Yagura alone. Mei sighs and nods, knowing that Naruto outmatched her in strength and power. Yagura attempted to go after her, but a Tsunade-like punch to the cheek sending him into his own Kage tower over 2 football fields away ended that. Kurama, I am placing the seal now, but will call upon it when the time is right. Are you ready? Are you sure it will work? The last time you tried you almost killed yourself. Thank you, Captain Obvious. You're welcome, Sergeant Sarcasm. Indeed, Comrade Comeback. Thank you, Senior Smartass. Anytime, Dictator Dickhead. There was silence in the mindscape for a long while, then both Kurama and Naruto burst out laughing, clutching their sides as they rolled about. It soon ended as Yagura roared and tackled Naruto to the ground, then proceeded to punch him in the face. Naruto soon had enough and blasted his chakra, which flung Yagura off his body. After standing and brushing off his armor, Naruto gets into the Raging Tide stance and unsheathes his katana. Of course, Yagura readies his staff. Both rush with immense speeds and proceed to attack each other. Their fight was just beginning. With Kenshin and his squad. Sounds of fighting could be heard, as well as the screams of the dying. Blood ran down the street like a river and severed body parts lay about. Kenshin and his squad of 300 came across heavy resistance, but after 10 minutes of fighting, the resistance seemed to lessen. Kenshin called some of his troops around and debriefed on the situation. The ANBU base I managed to infiltrate is not far from here. I will lead 10 other soldiers into the high-risk area. Any volunteers? 10 hands rise while the other 30 do not. Good. I want the rest of you to patrol the area and deal with any resistance you come across. It seems Yagura's bloodline purge made our lives easier. Stay strong, men and women. We have only begun to fight. My team, henge into ANBU and follow me. Hi Taishu, the small group replies and does as told. As Kenshin, who was also henged as an ANBU, went to infiltrate the base, the rest went to inform the others about what to do. ANBU base. As Kenshin and his 10 arrived, ANBU were swarming around the place while a select few were barking out orders. One of the captains sees the group and rushes up to them. Are you in need of assistance? We lost contact with the squad in the northeast quadrant and we suspect the rebellion got to them. Kenshin answers for his squad. We seem to have forgotten our responders and weapons. May we enter the base and get to our post, sir? The ANBU looks at all the group to see if anything was up, but due to all the fiasco, the ANBU knew that rookies would sometimes forget their gear. Sure, go ahead, but one more slip up and you will be cleaning toilets for a week, with toothbrushes. Kenshin nods. Hi sir, squad, follow me. The captain goes back to ordering his troops out while Kenshin and the others head inside, where he pulls them into an empty room. Orders, sir? One soldier asks. We are going to blow this place sky high. How many explosive tags you have on your person? A soldier steps forward. We each were given 50, sir. Kenshin has a gleam in his eye. It was a little known fact, but he really liked things that went boom. As he rubs his hands together, he chuckles and nods to his team. So, we got over 500 of these puppies, huh? Well then, why not start where they store all their armor, weapons, and such? The small squad made its way down to the armory where they got waves and weird stares. Either these ANBU were not trained or really lacking in education of protocol. Seeming how Yagura killed anyone not loyal to him, it was not a far-off possibility which only made Kenshin's job easier. As they entered the armory, which the 2 guards let them through, all 11 of them went around and placed all their explosive notes around the large room, some of which were planted on boxes of more explosive tags. It only took 5 minutes, but before leaving they took the standard ANBU gear and left. 5 minutes later they were out of the base where the captain from before stopped them. He was happy to see them geared up. Good, you all set then, huh? The ANBU wanted to slap Kenshin in the shoulder, but the hand passes through, making the captain's eyes bulge behind the mask. Before he could scream intruder, a soldier stabbed the ANBU in the throat, which also caught the attention of the other ANBU around the base. Ah shit. Kenshin deadpans, release the henge and run like hell, boys and girls, mission compromised, but be prepared for some fireworks, baby. As Kenshin's soldiers complied with his orders and watches the ANBU come towards him, he only laughs and triggers the explosion with a saying before running off. Explosions are exquisite, Katsu. The ensuing explosion was massive and sent a mushroom cloud in the air for all to see. The ANBU that were once chasing Kenshin were torn apart by flying debris and shrapnel. Any ANBU stationed in the vicinity were killed instantly, which helped the invasion greatly. With May at first traveled to the southwest quadrant as that was the closest one to her, but when she arrived the troops she ordered were patrolling the area like they were finished already. Report. A soldier comes up and bows, May-sama, all hostiles have been taken care of. It seems they were using this quadrant as a prison of sorts where they kept captured bloodline users for future execution. They turned the homes into prison cells. Condition of the prisoners. The soldier sighs and shakes her head, not good. Most are severely malnourished and close to death. How many have you found? Just in our quadrant we have found about 500, May-sama. In the southeast quadrant, we got a messenger that says they found about another 300. For a reason unknown, these areas were not heavily guarded. Just then a massive explosion rips across the village. Everyone turns to see the mushroom cloud appear, which made May start laughing. After calming herself she explained things. That would be Kenshin, our explosive fanatic. It seems he just took out the ANBU base, hence the reason as to why the southern quadrants were not guarded. Orders, May-sama. Tend to the prisoners, give them any spare rations you have. It seems that we will win this war by night's end. Hi May-sama, it will be done. As the soldier tends to her duties, May cannot help but smile at how things are going. After a short break, she heads off to tell the other southern quadrant their orders while helping out the northwest quadrant. With Naruto and Yagura. Naruto ducks under a swipe from the staff, then backflips back into his raging tide stance. For the past 3 minutes both have been fighting with neither gaining any ground, though Yagura had some minor scratches on his person. Naruto rushes in to attempt to disarm Yagura, but he had other plans. As Naruto was advancing, Yagura waves his staff and creates a mirror of water. It was the water mirror technique. As he rotates the mirror 90 degrees, a copy of Naruto shoots out and both blades collide, but the reflection turns into water after Naruto uses his strength to overpower the clone and slice off the head. I have been going easy on you, Yagura, as I don't want to hurt another of my kind. Please do not make me do what I am about to do. Yagura laughs. You lie, Senju, you don't want to hurt me so I can face my crimes. I will not let you win. Naruto sighs and puts his blade in a reverse grip. The blade starts glowing blue, then steps forward while swiping the blade up and to the left. Raging Whirlpool Technique, Tempest Storm. A wave of blue chakra mixed with yellow electricity shoots outward from the blade. A flash of yellow and the sound of thunder are heard as the attack rushes toward Yagura. Try as he might, he could not dodge it and the attack hits, making Naruto sigh, but soon stands back as a blast of malevolent chakra is felt. The technique made clears to show Yagura in his version 2-tailed beast form. His body now resembles the 3-tailed beast but is black and red with 3 tails swishing behind Yagura's back. Naruto sheathes his katana and has to dodge an incoming chakra arm, then duck underneath another. As he backflips away, Yagura smashes his tails into the ground, which soon appear where Naruto was going to land. A quick shunshin saves him from being impaled, but there was no rest for Naruto as Yagura started a rampage by destroying everything in his path while trying to fillet Naruto. Shit, I got to get him out of the village, but how? Naruto sees an incoming chakra arm and grasps it with his hands. Ignoring the burning, he uses his strength to fling Yagura out of the village and into the ocean. Naruto quickly heals his hands and runs to meet Yagura head-on. Outside Kiri, Yagura roars and jumps onto a nearby island searching for any sign of Naruto. Where was our Senju at, you ask? He was currently running on the water heading towards the island while making hand signs. The technique he was about to use was one Hashirama mentioned and explained to Naruto in training, but never actually tried the technique before. Hope this works. Watch over me, father. Boar, dog, bird, monkey, ram, monkey, tiger, Hokage-style 60-year-old technique, Kakuan entering society with bliss-bringing hands. Yagura is suddenly surrounded by 11 pillars of wood, each with 5 iron spikes pointed towards him. Before the crazed Mizukage could do anything, Naruto jumps in with his right palm outstretched, which had the kanji for sit on it, and slams it on Yagura's stomach, then jumps back. As Naruto attempts to siphon off the Bijou chakra, Yagura roars and fights back. Naruto grunts in exertion and concentration. Gore, how did my father manage to do this technique? Man, I need to read up on his scrolls. Yagura's Jinchuriki form was starting to peel away, showing the human body, but the man would not give up. I will never give in. Yagura pants in slight exhaustion, then roars out, making his chakra spike once again, thus breaking Naruto's technique. Shit. Kurama, he's going full beast. You ready? Been waiting ever since we met, Kit. Naruto bites his thumb, drawing blood, and rubs the containment seal over his stomach, then his own project, which was applied to the back of his left hand. Flipping through hand signs, Naruto then slams his hands onto the ground just as Aisabu emerged. Summoning technique, Kurama. In a puff of red smoke, the Kyuubi was back in the real world for the first time since Madara and Hashirama fought at the Valley of the End, with Naruto standing on his head just like Madara did those many years ago. Hello Aisabu, about time we had that spar we promised those many years ago. Kurama states with a grin. Kurama. You dare stand in my way? You're under a Genjutsu, Aisabu, please fight it, we all wants to see the real you back. Aisabu doesn't respond back, he only roars, and the two dash at each other, one intent on killing, the other intent on bringing someone back. With Mei. Mei was just finishing up helping the northwest quadrant when she saw Naruto fling Yagura out of the village with him following. As she ordered everyone to start gathering together and helping the prisoners 5 minutes later, however, everyone saw a puff of red smoke as well as a fully formed Aisabu. They were not expecting what would come out of the red smoke. Kyuubi. Kenshin stutters out in fear, the beast has returned after this many years. Mei gapes at this and wonders something. The last known holder of the Kyuubi was Mito, and it was rumored to die with her. Mei ponders some more and comes to a conclusion, of course. Mei sees the rebels ready to fight the Kyuubi, but she orders her soldiers to stand down. Stand down, all of you. Naruto-sama has contained that beast for over 50 years, and by the looks of it, both have come to an agreement. But Mei-sama, a soldier blurts out. No buts, do as I ordered or I will melt you. Do I make myself clear? The rebellion pales and choruses, Hi Mei-sama. Naruto, this battle, what you have done, now everyone will know the truth of where the Kyuubi went, and a bigger target has been put on yourself. I hope you are ready for whatever is to come. Breaking from her thoughts and trying to not pay attention on the massive fight, she helps with getting the prisoners food, healing, and trying to rebuild the village. Rebellion base. Isamu and Ao hear two roars, as do everyone else. They all look toward where it came from and pale. The Kyuubi and Aisabu were fighting an intense battle. This is insane. Wait, who is that on Kyuubi's head? Isamu wonders as he squints his eyes trying to see. Ao uses his Byakugan and gasps, but then smiles. Naruto-sama is in control of Kyuubi. This war will be over in no time. Just sit back and watch the show. Back with Naruto and Yagura. Both tailed beasts jumped back from their spar and initiated jutsu. Both were uninjured as of yet. Aisabu used his great water mass bullet while Kurama countered with his fire breath. Both of these massive attacks collided, creating a mass amount of steam. Using this distraction though, Isabu creates a tailed beast ball and launches it toward Kurama, who sensed it and countered with one of his own. Both collide and shoot into the air, where it explodes, making a second sun for the entire elemental nations to see. Isabu does not falter as he goes into a ball and uses his shell tower falling to rush toward Kurama. It was a huge mistake. Kurama creates a tornado of wind which collides with the incoming turtle, shooting him high into the air, but Kurama was not done as he used chakra arms to grab the airborne opponent and slam him mercilessly to the ground, which split the island in two. Damn Kurama, overkill much. You got any suppression seals to take Isabu down? Kurama completely ignores Naruto's remark. Yeah, I got some. Hold the turtle, would you please? Sorry kid, your summoning seal only allows out a set amount of time, and guess what? Naruto groans as Kurama returns back to the seal. He knows that his homemade seal needed some major work. Just then he sees a glowing underneath the water and pales at what was coming. Quickly going through hand signs, he manages to get a defense up just in time. Summoning, quintuple Rashomon. 5 Rashomon gates appear in front of Naruto, in which the tailed beast ball collides with and manages to break through 3 before exploding. Naruto wanted to end the charade and decided to use a jutsu he learned while in limbo. It was one of his greatest would-release techniques. Quickly getting into his sage mode, he runs through one hand sign and roars out, "Sage art, would release, true several thousand hands." A massive Buddha statue appears with thousands of hands emanating from the statue's back in countless concentric rows, while its 2 main hands are clasped as if in prayer. As Naruto stands atop the massive wooden structure, which dwarfs even the size of Kurama, he commands the hands to attack the emerging Isabu, who wanted to make a move. The turtle had no chance even though he tried to dodge. Isabu was slapped around mercilessly, then slammed onto the ground, where he lay almost unconscious at the bottom of the crater made. Naruto dismisses the statue, making it dissolve into wood particles, then jumps down in the crater and applies the suppression seal to the back of Isabu's head, making Yagura appear. As the Mizukage looks at Naruto, he only says one thing before darkness claims him. Thank you. In aim. 12 people were currently in a room talking to one another when Toby suddenly lurches forward with a gasp. Everyone becomes concerned and was about to ask what was the matter, but Toby answered that for everyone. It seems someone has released the genjutsu from Yagura. I sense that the rebels have won the war, and I see. Toby's eye widens underneath the mask. No, it can't be Kinet. He focuses on the last image transmitted by Yagura and suddenly laughs. So, Hashirama's son finally comes out of hiding. We will meet soon, Senju, we will meet soon. Toby is creepy, yeah. A fair-skinned man, with chin-length red hair and Rinnegan eyes, who stands at 5'8" and dressed in sandals, and the normal Akatsuki attire, looked at the person next to him. She stood 5'6" and had blue hair with a large blue paper flower in it, amber eyes, lavender eyeshadow, and a elaborate piercing. She too wore the standard Akatsuki attire. Both nod to each other discreetly and excuse themselves back to their rooms. Toby looks at them weird but dismisses it for now as he pondered his next move. 2 days later, Yuzu. Kushina was in her office doing paperwork when a messenger came in and dropped off an envelope for her. Confused, she looked at it, and after reading what was on the front, she quickly opened it and read the letter inside. Kushina. We have done as asked for a while now and have tracked the Akatsuki since it was organized. All the members have been detailed, including their skill sets. For security reasons, this list is in a blood seal meant for Uzumaki blood only at the end of this letter. The Akatsuki leader, whom is mentioned in the list, sensed his genjutsu on Yagura breaking, and I think he got a vision back on what he saw. Please forward this information to Konoha and assemble a meeting as soon as possible with all you are allied with. We will keep you informed as we continue our mission. Nagato and Konan. Kushina reads the letter thrice over, then unseals the contents below. After reading who the Akatsuki were, she pales and knew why Nagato was fearful. She quickly sealed the letter back up and grabbed blank parchment and a pen and wrote a letter to the Hokage. He would get it within the day. 4 days later, Konoha Gates. Naruto saw the gates to his home. It was a long journey for him since Wave, but he felt content about what was done. Kiri was rebuilding nicely thanks to his wood release. Yagura was in stable condition and felt guilty for what he did and nominated Mei for Mizukage, which she accepted but kept Yagura as second in command. The man was not happy as he wanted a way to repent for all which he had done. In all honesty, he he was thinking about suicide, but with the help of Naruto and Mei that was avoided. On top of Kiri's healing process, Mei set up an alliance with Yuzu as well as Konoha's allies. Konoha was now allied with Yuzu, Kiri, and Suna, while Iwa and Kyumo were allied with each other. After greeting the gate guards Kotetsu and Izumo who allowed him in, Naruto went to the Hokage tower, but on the way he was greeted with a happy reception. Some even tried asking for help with jutsu and such, but he reassured that important matters had to be attended to first. Hokage Tower, Office. Hiruzen was happily puffing on his pipe reading his smut thanks to a clear desk in front of him. The only thing that unnerved the old man was the letter he got from Kushina. A meeting was to be held once Naruto returned. Luckily that person was on his way to the office, and with a knock on the door he is let in. "Ah, Naruto, I take it the civil war has ended in Kiri," Hiruzen states as he puts away the smut which Naruto ignores for now. "Even better, old monkey." Naruto throws a scroll at Hiruzen which he catches, opens, and reads. "You managed to get a peace treaty with Kiri. Damn Naruto, you really have strengthened Konoha ever since your return. Your father would be proud." Naruto nods. "He was watching me every step of the way, but I sense that you are troubled, my old friend. What seems to be the matter?" The Hokage sighs and pulls out the letter which Kushina wrote. After Naruto grabs it, he reads it. "Hokage-sama. My spies in the Akatsuki have managed to give us a breakdown of whom and how strong the members are. I copied the lists which my spies gave for Naruto to unseal upon his return. Also, my spies recommended that a meeting take place between all of our allies as soon as possible. Once Naruto arrives back and reads the list, inform me and the others. We have much to discuss. Kushina Uzumaki, Yuzukage." Naruto sees the blood seal at the end and opens it, then reads the list. One name in particular stood out like a sore thumb. The sight of this man's name sent Naruto into a slight rage, making his silver chakra spew out and makes the walls, ceiling, and other things crack under the chakra's immense pressure. The hidden Anbu collapsed to the floor unconscious, while Hiruzen was staring wide-eyed at Naruto, doing the best to not pass out. "I haven't felt this since Naruto destroyed Mito's garden all those years ago. Oh Naruto, my friend, I am so sorry." After a minute, Naruto calms himself with deep breaths and looks around to see the damage he had done. Chuckling a little, he heals the Anbu as well as the cracks in the office, then looks back at the name, then at Hiruzen. "Are you sure this list is genuine, 100% fact?" The Hokage just nods, as there were not much to say. He knew how much pain Naruto was in. Naruto growls and throws the letter and list onto the desk in disgust. "Much like my father, I have a peaceful heart and can be stern and headstrong, but there was a side of my father that he kept bottled up, rage." After taking another calming breath, Naruto continues. "How that man can be alive sickens me to no end, and believe me, Hiruzen, when a senju of old, a senju that holds immense power like my father and I, submit to the side which we vow to keep hidden, you will know what hell on earth truly looks like." Naruto ended his spiel in a dark tone that took Hiruzen and the Anbu completely off guard. Before anyone could stop him, Naruto stormed out of the office, heading someplace where he could meditate and keep his rage under control. The Hokage sighed and picked up the list, knowing why Naruto got so mad. Along with Kushina's letter was a separate list for Hiruzen to read. The old man sighed again and looked at the name which Kushina circled. The name was Madara Uchiha. Tanzaku Town. Jiraiya had been following leads from his spy networks on the whereabouts of Itachi Uchiha. Over the many weeks he has been searching, there was one thing he was happy about, that Itachi did not join the mysterious Akatsuki organization. Deciding to call it a day, the Toad Sage heads to the local watering hole just as the sun starts to set. As he enters the bar, he looks around and suddenly spies his target in the corner of the bar, trying to look inconspicuous. Jiraiya tells the bartender to get a bottle of sake for him as well as some saucers. After the bartender complies, Jiraiya pays the man and heads over to talk to Itachi. Itachi was thinking about his life and what to do when a shadow overcame him. He looked up and scoffed. "So, what does the Toad Sage want with me?" Jiraiya sits down and pours the sake into 2 saucers, handing one to Itachi, who takes it and gulps it down, then motions for a refill. After doing so, as well as Jiraiya downing his saucer, he begins. "Sasuke wants you back, Itachi. We know the truth about the massacre and how you were framed. The Hokage already revoked your missing nin status." Both men take turns refilling their saucers and downing the sake like it was water. After a couple minutes Itachi responds. How quaint, but how did the Hokage pull that off, as I know the civilian council and Danzo would not allow that? The Toad Sage just chuckles, well Itachi, have you heard about Naruto Senju before? Itachi chokes on his sake and looks at Jiraiya with wide eyes and a shocked expression. By the tone of your voice, are you saying he is alive? Jiraiya just nods and calmly sips his sake while beginning to tell the tale of what has happened so far in Konoha. From Naruto's return, to how he banished the civilian council, to how he strengthened Konoha, Danzo's supposed end, as well as Sasuke's change. It took an hour to complete, but by then, Itachi had a sake bottle to himself and it was already half gone. I don't know what to say. If what you say is true, then I might finally be able to come back home and raise Sasuke like I meant to all those years ago. Itachi sighs and looks into the Toad Sage's eyes. Will he ever forgive me? He already has, Itachi. He doesn't blame you for anything. In fact, he blamed Danzo and all those who conspired against his clan. Sasuke is lost, Itachi, and like you he needs a kindred soul to find his path, to find a sense of closure. Itachi throws the sake bottle on the ground in disgust, making it shatter, which catches the patrons off guard, but they soon go back to what they were doing. Look at me, Jiraiya, this is not me at all. I am a calm, mainly emotionless individual, but here I am drowning my sorrows in sake and crying like a spoilt child. How can Sasuke and I return back to normal when so much wrong has been done to our clan? Itachi sobs while banging his head on the table. Jiraiya looks on in sadness as the Uchiha clan went through so much, all because of the greed of a few individuals. Taking a moment so that Itachi could calm down a little, he responds and lays a hand on Itachi's right shoulder. Don't look at the past, as the future is much brighter. Naruto quotes that quite often, and the meaning is simple really. The future is but a meadow of endless opportunities, whereas the past is dark, evil, and is best left locked up. The light is your goal, Itachi. The light which shines upon the meadow of opportunity will show you the right flower to pick. That flower is not just your future, Itachi, it is your clan's future as well. Come home, Itachi, be the mentor you were meant to be and live the life you were meant to live. Jiraiya releases his shoulder and the Uchiha looks up with a smile and wipes stray tears away, then says 3 words making the Toad Sage smile. Let's go home. Following day, Konoha Gates. After the talk, Jiraiya sent a message to the Hokage stating that Itachi was found and that Sasuke was to wait by the gates alone at 7 the next morning. It was time for a family reunion. Sasuke stood by the gate where Izumo and Kotetsu were guarding like always and couldn't help but wonder why he was here waiting. He was summoned here by an ANBU who would not give any details, which irked Sasuke to no end. Soon, Sasuke sees 2 dots on the horizon. One was the Toad Sage, which he recognized, but the other one was concealed behind him. The 2 dots stop and Jiraiya stands aside to let the brothers see each other for the first time in years. Sasuke starts to tear up and quickly runs forward, all the while screaming Itachi Onizen. Itachi sees Sasuke running and bends low, holding out his arms in a "come here" gesture. The two finally meet and engulf in a tear-filled hug. I missed you so much, Sasuke, and promise never to leave you again, I promise. I forgive you, Itachi, I always have. Chapter 10, Akatsuki Revealed. After Sasuke and Itachi reunited, both went back to the Uchiha district to catch up on what was missed. It was also during this reunion that the Sandaime sent off his letter to the Kazekage, Mizukage, and Uzukage saying they are to arrive for an emergency summons for a potential threat to the elemental nations. Hiruzen received a response later in the day from each saying that it would take a couple days for them to arrive with their bodyguards. This of course made the Hokage extremely nervous, as he did not know if the Akatsuki would strike in that time. Luckily that did not happen. As Sasuke and Itachi were making up for lost time, 2 seal masters were currently in the Senju estates discussing and experimenting with a way to get their old friend and sensei back to his younger years. Both Naruto and Jiraiya were in the same room where the seal mistake Mito made those many years ago. The room was never touched and never opened since Naruto disappeared. Naruto opened the door and smiled sadly while looking around the room, which paper and books were strewn about. Naruto subconsciously put a hand over the seal on his stomach and shed a few tears. Jiraiya saw this and voiced his concerns. You okay, Naruto? Said person nods. I will be fine, Jiraiya-sama. Just reminiscing is all about the last time I was in this room. Naruto takes a breath and smiles, then claps his hands. Well, enough about the past, we have a seal to make. Right. So for the next 3 hours, both seal masters went over countless books and notes which were scribbled on pages, each made notes of their own and would discuss their possibilities at the end. Just as both were about to call it quits, Naruto remembers something that Tsunade said to him when he first came back. Aging jutsu. Naruto whispers, which Jiraiya hears. Aging what now? Naruto looks at the toad sage and laughs. Tsunade threatened me with an aging jutsu when I first returned so I could look like the old monkey. I may only be 18 in body but in mind I am 68. Jiraiya chuckles at the thought of a wrinkly and liver-spotted Naruto, but he soon clears his mind and thinks on the jutsu. Do you think it's possible to take a jutsu and turn it into a seal, then reverse engineer it to do the complete opposite? Naruto shrugs. I suppose. The seal on the front of my hand is a summoning seal I designed to link up with the seal on my stomach. With your spy network I am sure you got the report of what I did. The Sannin shivers. Yeah, don't remind me. Anyway, how can we make an aging seal? Naruto hums in thought. Well, we have stasis seals which can paralyze a person and can possibly be used to make a person not age. We can always start there. Jiraiya nods. Well, we might need to see Tsunade Heime's jutsu in action to get an idea on how to make the aging seal before tweaking the stasis seal. Naruto chuckles. Yeah, the last thing I need is another screw-up and me seeing the future again. Both get up and pat each other on the back to head to see Tsunade and try to get this project figured out as fast as possible. Both hoped it would be ready by the Chunin exams. Uchiha District. Itachi and Sasuke were currently outside in the training grounds as Sasuke brought up the question about the Manjikyu Sharingan. Itachi had a solution to how to get it without killing someone, but it would not be a pleasant experience. Sasuke, in order to get the Manjikyu Sharingan you have to kill your closest friend or see them perish by someone else's hands, but there is a way around this. Itachi coolly stated, making Sasuke quirk an eyebrow. How so? Itachi sighs. The word said made Sasuke pale. Tsukuyomi. Naruto-sensei told me about that. It can lead to coma, mental instability, and other nasty things. Sasuke paused in thought, then continued. If you can assure no lasting effects will happen to me, I will go through with it. Itachi smiles. I will do my best. Now look into my eyes. Sasuke watches as his brother's eyes first turn into the three-tomoed Sharingan, then spin to form the MS. Afterwards his vision went black for a brief moment before finding himself tied to a wooden cross in a red world with a red moon and clouds. In front of him stands Itachi and to his right was the Konoha 11. Welcome to the world of Tsukuyomi, little brother. For 72 hours you will watch me kill your friends over and over again. States a monotone Itachi who looks at a wide-eyed Sasuke. This isn't real. Calm down, Sasuke, calm down. Itachi senses Sasuke trying to dispel the technique. There is no escape, brother. Now watch as your friends are killed by my hands. Itachi calmly pulls out his tanto and proceeds to mutilate them, which brings memories of the Uchiha massacre back into Sasuke's mind. Inoichi's mind wipe started to fail and memories of the time en route and how he acted before came to the surface. Stop, don't kill them. Itachi. Itachi flicks the blood off his sword and looks at Sasuke as his friends come back to life. 71 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds left to go. Again and again Sasuke watches his friends fall as well as relieving the memories that were wiped. At first Sasuke was angry that Konoha would do such a thing, but as the memories progressed he knew why the wipe was necessary. He closes his eyes and tries to drown out the sounds of metal meeting flesh as well as focus on the streaming memories. Soon, Itachi feels an immense pressure in the Tsukuyomi world and turns to Sasuke, who opens his eyes to see the biohazard symbol in each as well as a stern look much like Madara had. Sasuke had awakened his Manjikyu Sharingan. A name came to Sasuke's mind and when spoke, black flames rushed toward Itachi. Amaterasu. Itachi widens his eyes and quickly cancels the technique. Back in the real world, Sasuke collapses to the ground with blood tears coming from his eyes and him holding his head while screaming in pain. This was not how it was supposed to go. Through his pain, Sasuke grunts out two names, Naruto, Inoichi. Itachi didn't hesitate and quickly shine to get them both. Within 2 minutes all three arrived back at the estate to see Sasuke in extreme pain. Naruto rushed up to console him while screaming at Itachi. What the hell did you do? Itachi sighs, I used Tsukiyomi to awaken Sasuke's MS, and before you yell any further, he agreed to it. Inoichi became worried and asked a simple question. What did you show him to awaken it? Killing off his friends, why is there a problem? Shit. Naruto and Inoichi deadpan. Itachi was confused and Inoichi explained the mind wipe they had to do to change Sasuke's path. It was one thing that Jiraiya forgot to bring up when they met the day before. After hearing this, Itachi grew worried and fell to his knees while tears were spilling out of his eyes. What have I done? If I would have known dash. Don't beat yourself over it. Now, let me have a look inside. Inoichi states and uses his clan jutsu to enter Sasuke's mindscape as Naruto continues to comfort him. Sasuke's mindscape. Once Inoichi gains access, he appears right in the middle of a massive fight between the Yami Sasuke and the real Sasuke. Both are bloodied and giving it their all in trying to banish one side or the other. Ah, so a mindwalker attempts to help, how quaint. Yami Sasuke snarls and attempts to kill Inoichi, but Sasuke would have none of it. Just before Yami gets the Yamanka with a kunai, Sasuke appears and roundhouse kicks his dark half away. Damn it, Inoichi, get out of here. I don't blame you for what you had to do if that was your main concern. I can handle my dark side by myself. Sasuke. Inoichi starts but soon stares at a glowing MS and is kicked from the mindscape. Now where were we? Ah yes, burn in hell Yami. Great fire annihilation. Yami pales at the sight of the large swath of flames coming his way, then laughs as he does the same jutsu, which makes both start fighting for control. Still laughing, evilly mind you, he tries to degrade Sasuke into quitting. Come on Sasuke, join me, merge with me to become whole once again. We will show these Konoha bastards not to mess with an Uchiha elite. Sasuke grunts as he pours more chakra into the technique, never. I have Itachi back as well as a good group of friends. Naruto-sensei is outside comforting me. I can feel his soothing chakra coursing through my veins. Yami adds more chakra, making the massive sheets of fire fight each other. It was currently at a stalemate. You have no chance, no chance. Yami's dark chakra explodes, making his jutsu rush towards Sasuke. Shit, not this way, I don't want to die this way. The midscape flashes white and two images appear in front of Sasuke. It's Mikoto and Fugaku, his parents. Hello son. Mikoto starts. Ah, look how much you have grown, only if we had more time together. Mom, Dad, how are you here? Fugaku smiles and places a hand on Sasuke's shoulder. Look son, we don't have much time, so I will cut to the chase. When you were born, both Mikoto and I placed some of our chakra inside you, knowing that Danzo was after our clan. We feared one of us would be controlled. Mikoto continues. Your father and Shisui were targets and thus put in a genjutsu to make the coup look plausible. I sense you know the rest, so I will dally no further, my son. Sasuke tears up and engulfs both of them in a hug. My dark side, how can I hope to defeat him? I have friends now, Itachi is back in my life, I feel complete already. Both parents smile and ruffle Sasuke's hair, then bend low to look into their son's eyes. There is one thing your dark side has never felt before. I have a feeling you know what that is. Mikoto starts but then notices she and Fugaku are turning transparent. Mom, Dad, please don't go. Fugaku smiles sadly and places his hand on Sasuke's heart. We will never leave, son, we will always be there in your heart. Go now, defeat your dark half. All of us will be waiting for you when you pass from this world. Sasuke watches both about to disappear when they say their final words. We love you, stay strong our son. The mindscape flashes white again and Sasuke finds himself back fighting but notices no time has passed. All of a sudden, he feels a surge of chakra entering his body and recognizes the signatures. Mother, Father, thank you. With that, Sasuke screams out and blasts his mindscape with an intense amount of chakra, catching Yami off guard, which led to Sasuke's attack overpowering his dark sides and thus banishing him from existence. Sasuke watches as his mindscape starts to crumble away into a lush forest with chirping birds, the sun high into the blue sky. To his right he sees two headstones denoting graves, Fugaku Uchiha and Mikoto Uchiha, each red. Sasuke again smiles and takes a deep breath of the springtime air, then fades from his mindscape. Uchiha Compound. Sasuke wakes with a gasp and looks around to see a worried Itachi, Inoichi, and Naruto. "Which Sasuke are you?" Inoichi asks with a stern voice. "My dark side is gone thanks to the help of my parents, Itachi. We have training to do, Naruto-sensei, would you like to join?" Naruto smiles, "I would love to." Inoichi smiles and breathes in relief at how Sasuke handled the situation. For a while, all three thought he would resort back to his old self. Knowing he was not needed any longer, he shined out of the area to go back home. 2 days later, Konoha Council Chambers. Jiraiya, Tsunade, Hiruzen, Naruto, Kushina, the Yondaime Kazekage, and Mei were all present in the council chambers ready to discuss the Akatsuki. Mei, Kushina, and the Kazekage's bodyguards were all roaming about Konoha taking in the sights. After they greet each other, some being surprised that the son of Hashirama was still living, everyone sat down and began. "I thank you for taking the time to convene like this. Shall we get the meeting started?" Hiruzen asks, which everyone nods in approval. "Good, Yuzakage-sama, you have the floor." Kushina nods and pulls out copies of the list of Akatsuki members and their skill sets. These get passed around for everyone to skim over. "The lists I just passed out to you are what my 2 spies, Nagato and Konan, have been able to gather over the years on the Akatsuki organization. As you can tell, everyone on this list is S rank or above with impressive skill sets." The Kazekage started to read off the list of 10 names. "So the Akatsuki consists of, and I still cannot believe this man's name is on the list, Madara Uchiha, who goes by the alias Tobi, Zetsu, Haiden, Kakuzu, Hanzo the Salamander, Orochimaru, Sasori, Deidara, Kisame, and Jinpachi Munashi." Mei blinks and does a double take at the last 2 names. "Kisame and Jinpachi, 2 of the 7 swordsmen, but I thought Jinpachi was dead." "Apparently not, and my spy network has confirmed this list. I still don't know what exactly their plan is. Kushina, any idea?" Jiraiya responds with wonder in his voice. Kushina nods again. "My spies are the second in command in the Akatsuki and know the leader quite well. In fact, and I am ashamed to admit this, that is how Madara is alive in the first place. Sorry, Naruto." Naruto clenches his fists and growls out, "How? Tell me how." "Maybe for another time, my surrogate brother." Tsunade starts but is interrupted by the Kazekage. "Actually, I would not mind hearing the story, Yuzakage-sama, if you will." Kushina sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. "Okay, first off, Madara did not die at the Valley of the End. He hid himself away for a very long time so that he could recover. Anyways, I ordered Nagato and Konan with a group of Jounin to head out to follow up on reports of mysterious chakra pulses in the cliff face in the Valley of the End. According to reports, the team made it there, but the chakra suddenly died out. Hours later they found a hidden cave entrance and found a dead body inside." Naruto turns to Kushina. "Why do I have a bad feeling where this story is heading?" Kushina gives an apologetic look to Naruto, then continues. "Nagato was curious about his Rinnegan powers, and used a rebirth jutsu to bring the man back to life, and thus Madara was born again." The eyes of the sage, impossible. The Kazekage and Mei blurt out in disbelief, but Naruto reassures them it is truth. The eyes of the sage are not myth. Supposedly Madara got them near the end of his life. According to legend, the Sage of 6 Paths had 2 children which formed the Senju and Uchiha clans we know today, and it takes both for someone to gain the legendary dojutsu. Then how did Madara get it then when he is only part Uchiha? Hiruzen ponders aloud. Naruto shrugs. "I have no clue on that one unless some asshole managed to get my father's genes again. Heck, the most viable candidate for gaining a Rinnegan is Sasuke, as Danzo injected him with my father's DNA." Jiraiya clears his throat. "This is nice and all, but back to the topic at hand, please." Everyone chuckles and Hiruzen looks at the paper in front of him and starts to read off the skills on a member. Jinpachi stands 6'5", has long brown hair, a long beard which he wears in strands adorned with beads. The top of his head is wrapped in bandages, and he has an eye patch covering his left eye. Skill set is silent killing, very skilled in kenjutsu, high strength capabilities, can use long-range explosive techniques due to Shibuki, his blast sword. Jiraiya reads the next on the list, Kisame. Kisame, also known as the tailless-tailed beast, stands 6'4", has a shark-like appearance, blue-gray skin, and small white eyes with gill markings underneath. Skill set is insane chakra reserves, superhuman strength, highly skilled in kenjutsu with Samehada, his sword. His sword can steal chakra and merge with Kisame if need be. Tswanda goes next with Daidara. Daidara has blonde hair in a ponytail with some of it covering the right half of his face. He has blue eyes and stands at 5'4". He has the explosion release and uses clay in combination with the mouths on his hands to create explosives. Daidara is highly intelligent but lacks in the knowledge of short-range skills. Mei looks at the list and picks out Hanzo the salamander. Well, this is an interesting fellow. Hanzo the salamander stands at 5'8" and has a mask over his mouth to keep his poison breath at bay. He has long blonde hair and is fairly muscular. Skills are the salamander summoning contract, fire release, and skilled with a Kuzurigama. Why does this name sound familiar? Tswanda and Jiraiya growl and simultaneously reply, defeated us in the Second Shinobi War. Naruto rose an eyebrow, wait, he took on the Sannin all at once. Jiraiya scoffs, how do you think we got the name the legendary Sannin? We should have died that day, Naruto, but he honored our strength and let us live. Sounds like a challenge. I actually am looking forward to fighting that guy. Naruto replies back, which earns him stares of confusion and slightly dumbfounded. For the next 30 minutes, each read off the members of the Akatsuki and started to form plans on how to defeat each one of them, as everyone knew it was only a matter of time before they struck. As the chatting went on, everyone had their opinions on what the Akatsuki's goal actually was. My spies do not know the truth of what Madara actually wants, but my guess it would have to do with his past. Naruto, did your father say anything about Madara, obsessions and whatnot? Naruto sighs and nods, yes, he was fascinated at how he could control the Bijou as well as how he could summon the Kyuubi at will. Before his banishment from the village, my father described Madara as power-hungry and frowned upon when the Bijou were split between the villages. The Kazekage hums in thought and gasps as an idea comes to mind. Do you think he was mad at Hashirama for splitting the Bijou due to the possibility that he wanted them all to himself? The room goes silent for 5 minutes as everyone digested the possibility. Everyone, even the Kazekage himself, wanted to deny that fact, but no matter how much they looked at it, it was the only plausible answer. Naruto decides to break the silence with a question to the Kazekage. How is your Jinchuriki doing, if I may ask, Kazekage-sama? Said man gives a heated glare, planning on stealing it, Senju. Naruto stays calm, much to everyone's amazement. Not at all, I am just wondering how a person like myself is doing. Jiraiya told me how Jinchuriki are usually treated in this day and age. Wait, one like yourself, how was I so blind? The Kazekage yells, then shakes his head. Of course you would be the viable candidate for the Kyuubi, Naruto-sama, many apologies, and if would like I can set up a meeting between you two. Naruto nods, that would be lovely, and I am sure it has gone around at what I managed to accomplish at Kiri. Jiraiya gapes at Naruto and waves his hands in front of him. Whoa, now Naruto, are you actually thinking of giving Gaara that seal? Naruto nods while everyone else wonders what the heck the two seal masters are talking about. Naruto puts up his right hand and shows the seal array on the back of the hand. This is a summoning seal I personally made, but it is not complete as of yet. Again, word has probably got out at what I did at Kiri. The Kazekage sputters as everyone else's eyes, minus Naruto and Jiraiya, bulge as they connected the dots. You mean to tell me you can summon the Kyuubi like Madara did all those years ago? The Kazekage starts clutching his sides and laughing. Oh man, you got me there, kid, I highly doubt that. Naruto looks at Hiruzen for confirmation and nods. Fine, you want confirmation, summoning jutsu, Kurama. A small puff of red smoke appears on the table, which clears to show a small dog-sized Kurama. Ah, damn it, Kit, you woke me from my nap. Kawaii. Mei, Tswanda, and Kushina yell and quickly hug the small fox in front of them. Kit, get them off me. Everyone starts laughing at the greatest of all Bijou's whining, and even more so when Kurama goes back in the seal, making the girls pout. After calming down, the Kazekage looks at Naruto and apologizes yet again, which he waves off. I trust all of you with this information as you are allies of Konoha, but be warned, I will know when you slip. There is a side of the Senju of old which we keep bottled up in fear of destroying everything in our path, friend or foe. One slip up and I will show you how powerful a Senju truly could be. The dark tone set everyone who had not heard Naruto speak this way before for a loop. It did get the point across, as the reports from what he did to Yagura already traveled around the elemental nation. Before anything else could be said, a messenger bursts in, panting for breath. Sorry for the interruption, but intel says that IWA and Kumo are amassing forces for some reason. It's almost like the Second Shinobi War all over again. Kushina pales at hearing this and quickly stands. I must dismiss myself as I fear my village is in danger. If I ask, will you all help me in defending my home? We shall. The simultaneous voices of Mei, the Kazekage, and Hiruzen are heard. Thank you all, and to you Messenger-san, I thank you. Good day, and I will report to you with an update on Kumo and Iwa's movements. Hiruzen watches Kushina head out, then dismisses everyone, knowing that they would be needed in case war broke out again. Oto, Kage Tower. Kabuto was currently in the office talking to Orochimaru about his latest task. With the help of the man Orochimaru talked to earlier, everything was set to bring Konoha down. Kabuto bows, it has been done. Orochimaru-sama, Kumo, and IWA have joined us in taking down Yuzugakure, but may I ask a question? You may, Kabuto. Are IWA, Kumo, and our village going to be enough? Orochimaru smirked. Very good observation, Kabuto. I have enlisted the help of some special people thanks to a certain organization I am in. Don't worry, dear Kabuto, Konoha will fall soon enough. Kabuto bows once again. I will be off, Orochimaru-sama, and update you with Konoha's movements on a daily basis. Orochimaru dismisses Kabuto, then looks to the corner of the room where, out of the shadows, the same man he talked to appears. I take it your job was successful. Very much so, Orochimaru. All I had to do was kill a couple prominent council members and place a forged note and use a headband next to their corpse. This and Kabuto's words made them bend to our will. Good, very good. I wonder though, how will they react to your return? It matters not. With the help that we have, I assure you that even with the Senju brat, victory will be ours. Aim, Akatsuki base. Madara was in a current bind. He had two choices: help with Orochimaru's predicament or use this distraction to start with his plan. As he sat in his room for what seemed like hours, he eventually came to a decision. Standing and walking to the main room where everyone was at currently, he pulled three people aside. Hanzo, Jinpachi, Kisame, I have a certain task for you to do. Senju Estates, nighttime. A knock is heard at the door, which Tsuwanda answers. Standing there is a boy with auburn hair, green eyes, and a massive gourd on his back with the usual Sannin attire. Hello, you must be Gaara. Gaara bows. Hi, may I come in, Senju-sama? Tsunade is fine and you may. After he is lead inside, Gaara is motioned into the family room where he takes a seat. Can I get you tea or anything to drink? Gaara smiles. Tea would be lovely, thank you, Tsuwanda. As she went back to get that ready, Naruto came downstairs to take a break from trying to learn the anti-aging seal. Jiraiya and Naruto worked at it after the meeting and they managed to make an aging seal, but reversing it was more difficult than they first thought. Naruto pauses his walk to the kitchen when he spots Gaara sitting on the couch. You must be Gaara. Naruto introduces himself and both shake hands. Hi, Naruto-sama, it is an honor to meet you. Naruto is fine. Now, I bet you are wondering why the Kazekage invited you over, correct? My father said you were like me in a ways. Plus, sorry for asking, but mother says you should be older than 18. Mother. Kurama laughs. In Naruto's mind, he means Shikaka Kit, and yes, all of us Bijou have a gender even though we are chakra constructs mainly. Gaara notices the glazed look in Naruto's eyes and knows he is conversing with his tenant, so he waits calmly and thanks Tsuwanda when she brings out the tea. Sorry about that, Gaara. Now to your question. I will give you the simple answer. I sealed myself away for a period of time, that is all you need to know. Gaara nods and sips his tea, making him smile at the minty taste. He then notices the seal on Naruto's hand. Naruto, may I ask about the seal on your right hand? Naruto chuckles and sets his tea down on the saucer. That is actually what the topic of discussion is about. How would you like to summon Shikaku out of the seal without killing yourself? Fresh air, the smell of blood, let me out, Gaara, please. Gaara shakes his head and responds back, I would love to, but I fear that my bijou is unstable. She talks about blood mostly, which unnerves me. Naruto taps his chin. Now that is a problem. Can I see your seal for a moment? Gaara gives a stern glare and sand starts to rotate around his form, making Naruto put his hands up in defense. Stand down, Gaara. I have had over 50 years of Funijutsu practice and I promise that I will not harm it. I just want to see if my hunches are correct. It took a couple minutes, but Gaara complied and showed his seal, which Naruto took a look at. It was as he feared. The seal was weak and thus made the bijou slightly unstable. After spending 5 minutes looking at it, Naruto tells Gaara to wait as he goes to get his sealing supplies. A minute later, he is back and over the next 10 minutes a better seal was made then activated. Gaara immediately noticed a difference as he heard Shikaku muttering thank you over and over again as the seal in place brought pain to her. Of course, Gaara explained this to Naruto, whom nodded back. As the two conversed over tea, Naruto eventually trusted Gaara enough to talk about a potential project of his. Gaara, if it came to it, would you join me on the quest of gathering all the Jinchuriki in case certain things I foresaw come to light? Gaara was shocked at first but then nodded. I would love to meet the other Jinchuriki if possible. I always wondered how others were treated. Father was kind enough to teach the villagers at home what the basics of Fuinjusta were, so I grew up loved and cared for. Naruto sighs. Jiraiya-san tells me most Jinchuriki today are hated and shunned as people tend to fear what they don't understand. Your father, the Kazekage, is a good man. He raised you well and I see Hokage material in you. Maybe one day you will achieve that. Gaara smiles and nods. About the summoning seal. I take it there are complications of using it. Astute as ever, Gaara, and yes there are. One is that the Jinchuriki has to earn the complete trust of their bijou, and two is the seal has a set time limit which I am working on improving. This is one of the reasons as to why I am not handing it out just yet. Gaara nods then stands. It is getting late. I must return to the hotel as we are leaving first thing tomorrow morning. I enjoyed talking to you, Naruto. I hope we meet again someday. Naruto stands and escorted Gaara to the door and both give a handshake before parting ways. After Naruto closed the door he sighed and had doubts on whether he was strong enough to bring Madara down if the moment arrived. Naruto knew that he was nowhere close to his father's level even though he had many years to train. With Madara back alive, who knows what new tricks he learned and what counters to all of Naruto's skills the Uchiha had found. He decided that it would be best to get some sleep and think about it in the morning. Little did he know that the events to come would start the clock on the elemental nation's downfall. However, one person would rise to become the key in ensuring that the elemental nation stood tall forever and always.